This is the story of the waffle that knew the way. It's a story about following your dreams, no matter how crazy they might seem, and it's a story about family. It all started when I was just a wee lad working in my father's restaurant. We were just your typical family business serving up waffles all day long. I remember how every morning without fail, my dad would get up before the sun, his face creased with years of smiling at customers, and start mixing the batter. He'd hum an old tuna song while he worked, and we always had fresh fruit to put on top the waffles. The restaurant was small, cozy even, and we had regular customers who came in for their morning waffle fix. It was a simple life, but it was good. I liked making the waffles almost as much as I liked eating them. And I can still remember my first attempt. I recall thinking I could make a waffle, but I could make a better waffle. And so I did. I experimented with the recipe, trying new ingredients, tweaking the ratios until I got it just right. Fluffy yet firm, golden-hued and crisp on the outside, moist inside and bursting with flavor. To this day, I swear by my own waffle recipe and never use my father's again. However, for all that I loved the restaurant and the life we had built, I also dreamed of something more, something grander. While flipping waffles on the griddle, I would dream of owning my own restaurant one day. I wanted to travel the world, see amazing places, and meet incredible people. I yearned to experience everything life had to offer. Yet here I was stuck in our little town, making waffles every day. Don't get me wrong, I didn't resent my life. I loved our restaurant and the joy it brought to people. But I also knew I was capable of more. One day, a famous food critic named Anthony Bourdain visited our town. I remember everyone talking about it. For days, he was looking for the best breakfast spot in town, and apparently he found it. He came into our restaurant, sat down and ordered a waffle. My dad made it himself, put extra effort into it, and when Bourdain ate it, his eyes widened. Afterwards, he wrote a glowing review about our restaurant in his travel guide, and suddenly we were a hot spot. But after the initial rush died down, things went back to normal. Yet the encounter with Mr. Bourdain inspired me to take action. He had traveled the world and lived an exciting life. Well, if he could do it, so could I. I told my dad about my plans. I wanted to buy a food cart and travel the country, selling my world-famous waffles and experiencing all that America has to offer. At first, he was silent. Then he let out a low whistle. A food cart, he said finally, that sounds like quite the adventure. I could tell he was worried, but I reassured him. Don't worry, Dad. I won't be gone for long. Just a few months to get a taste of what else is out there. He didn't look convinced, but I could see the pride in his eyes. So I saved up money from work and bought a used waffle cart. It wasn't much to look at, but it ran well and had a solid griddle. I painted it red and hung a sign that read, "The Waffle Cart." I poured all my savings into ingredients and then some, because I wanted these to be the best waffles anyone had ever tasted. On the day I left, my dad gave me a big hug and wished me luck. I hit the road feeling excited and free. The open road stretched before me like a giant waffle, crisp on the outside, fluffy inside, and full of endless possibilities. For weeks, I traveled from town to town, selling my waffles and soaking in the sights. Some towns were bustling, others quiet. Some folks loved my waffles, others just wanted a bite. But no matter where I went or who I met, each day was a new adventure. Then one day everything changed. I pulled into a town and set up my cart only to find nobody buying my waffles. People walked past without even glancing at me. I sat there for hours with my cart, feeling dejected and a little scared. As the sun began to set, I decided to pack up and leave. As I was dismantling my cart, a woman approached me. "Why aren't you selling waffles anymore?" she asked. I looked up at her, surprised. "No one was buying them," I replied. She smiled. "Well, that's because you're in Flavortown, USA, where everyone's taste buds have gone numb due to consuming nothing but bland foods for years. Your delicious waffles are the cure for what this town's ailing from. You should stay and help us regain our sense of taste." And so I did. With the woman's help, I set up my cart in the town square. Soon, people were lining up to try my waffles. They took one bite and their faces lit up. "This is amazing," they exclaimed, "so good." It felt great to be needed, to bring joy to people through my waffles. For weeks, I stayed in Flavortown, bringing back the love of good food to its residents. But eventually, the curiosity wore off and my customers went back to their old boring diets. Once again, I found myself with an empty cart and a heavy heart. This time, though, I wasn't as upset. I realized that selling waffles wasn't just about the money. It was about the joy you brought to people. So I kept traveling, sharing my waffles and making people happy. Years passed and my waffle cart became a familiar sight at food festivals and town fairs across the country. I met all kinds of people, some who wanted to buy my waffle recipe, others who just wanted to share a meal. I even appeared on TV a couple of times. My waffle cart had become a small business empire. Yet despite all the success, a part of me missed my dad. I hadn't seen him in so long and I wondered how he was doing. So I packed up my cart and headed back to our town. When I got there, I found that the restaurant had closed down. I walked inside and saw my dad sitting in a chair by the window. He was older, his hair whiter, but his smile was just as warm. "Dad, why did you close the restaurant?" I asked. He looked up, his eyes filled with tears. "I closed it because I missed you, son," he said. "I was worried when you left and I shouldn't have been." "You were right. You could make a better waffle than me, and you had to go out and make your dreams come true." He paused. "I'm sorry I held you back," he said. "You should keep traveling, son. You've got the world out there waiting for you." And so I did. I kept traveling, but now with a newfound appreciation for my roots. I realized that my journey had come full circle. I had started making waffles with my dad, and now I was traveling the world, bringing joy to people with my waffles. One day, I stumbled upon a quaint little town nestled in a valley. The air was sweet with the scent of cinnamon and maple syrup. I could hear the sound of laughter and singing. And then I saw it, a sign that read, "Welcome to Waffle Wonderland." I turned to my cart, a wide grin spreading across my face. I knew in my heart that I wasn't just a waffle cart anymore. I was the waffle that knew the way, the waffle that had traveled the world and brought happiness to countless people. I was a legend in my own right. If you like the stories that I create, please follow to be notified when new videos come out. Here's another story I think you'll really like.